living the Vida life.
Always prepared.
Even though he doesn't know we're live.
Well, I am.
Hello.
That's how live I am. I'm
Hi.
ready to go live at any moment. It's such as
When
right
we're
now.
already
Hello.
live.
Yeah. And I was already ready. You know, I'm nothing if not professional and always on top of things. Hello. Good evening. We're going to play some Guess That game because we love a bit of Guess That game here. Xbox
Yes,
Handheld, Xbox Tavern. Hello, Ross. Hello, Ian.
Hello.
You ready? Guess That game.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy, I'm ready. Right. Is that? Would you like me to zoom in a little bit? Let's shall we? Now,
I have no
any
idea.
immediate thoughts?
The game looks older than I am.
Yeah, that
yes.
doesn't ring a bell at all. The only thing
I'm not saying...
it looks like a discount version of what's that? Is it Murder Soul Suspect with all that kind of like
What?
spooky... Yeah, like a discount version. But it's not that.
I mean, I know what game you're talking about, and to be honest, I'm not sure I would have come up with that. But you never know.
But like I mean, it's a very discount version, but it's definitely not that. 100% not that.
I mean, it's not that, but we've got nothing better to guess, and we might as well eliminate one game out of the thousands.
Is it part of the series or? No.
It's definitely not. Because I knew it wasn't. It looks.
What the shit?
Oh, now
is
that gives me what's that game? Oh, it's like a side-scrolling.
Is it like a Castlevania type game or Metroidvania?
No, I was thinking more of like it's.
Does look more
is
familiar
it
there,
Strider? Strider, the one that slides on with like the ninja with the sword. Is that Strider?
I mean, again, I've got no better suggestion. Let's go with the original one, shall we?
Yeah, because I have no idea. This is not my cup of tea. This type of game.
Okay.
PS5.
Oh, I think I know what this is. I think I might know what this is, but any other guesses before we get into it?
Oh, fucking clear. Somebody save me. But it's not Warhammer.
Is it not?
Warhammer.
Oh, maybe it's not then. I mean, well, it's obviously not Bolt One because
it's not there. So
it's not in the list, I got all excited for a second then. Okay, I mean,
I could see where you would get it, but
this weaponry looks very. But yeah, I don't
Warhammer.
know any of the rest of these. Let's go with that one. Why not? Unless anyone else got any other
Chaos Bane.
No, nothing.
Nothing.
It's definitely not Chaos Bane, and it's not Warhammer game. Okay, let's move on.
So
hack and slash.
What
action.
the shit?
Well, as well, hack and slash with this, but it's definitely maybe. Is this no? What the fuck?
Is that like a rip-off version of Doom?
Yeah, I mean,
if I Google rip-off Doom games, will come up with an answer.
I feel like this has got to be fairly achievable by the time we get to the end of this because it's quite modern. But again, I didn't get yesterday's one, and that was last year's game, I think. Any suggestions? I should type in the chat.
As he throws in rip-off Doom games into Google, and the first game that comes up is Warhammer Boltgun.
Oh, that's a good guess, actually. No. Yeah, I've got no.
Yeah, I'm not even seeing anything.
Can't even think of something to attempt. But all right, let's move on to the next one. Okay.
It's a funky-looking guy.
Does look like Chaos Blade. Now you said that.
He's got a cool-ass sword. Is he holding the sword? Is he stabbed by the sword? Is it sheathed?
It's sort of like I know that character, but I haven't played it, whatever this is, but I definitely have seen that art before.
It was only out last year.
Give me some people. If anyone's watching, feel free to.
Yeah, anybody in the comment section.
I've got nothing. I've got literally
save
nothing.
us.
I say a lot of guff, and I can't even recognize it.
It's just it's one of them ones I'm going to kick myself. I think when we see the name, if we don't get it.
I play a lot of guff.
He does play a lot of guff. I play a lot of guff as well, but not. This looks like something I would play as well, and I cannot for the life of me. They've got no suggestion. Let's try. There's a lot of fucking games to go through there and there. Let's try the top one. Why not? Fireblade.
What did you put?
Poppy Works.
What the shit?
Oh,
The
wait.
sli-
Slave
the
from Zero? Yeah, one of these.
Is it X?
What the fuck
is
is that?
the latest one,
I
isn't
think
it?
it's X, yeah.
Oh, you think it would be?
Well, that's why I'm only going by
I
10.
think Dan might have reviewed this actually. Or at least
Did he?
played some on YouTube.
It says say X and slave there, one little thing there just now.
Hey, I don't know.
Hey.
No one's seen it somewhere. There we go.
I
Slave
have
Zero X. We got there in the end.
Never heard that game in my life.
No,
Slave
never either.
Zero X.
What's the achievements like? I mean, I won't be tired of all about.
It got a 7 out of 10 on Steam.
And yeah, there was Dan. Dan did review it. He gave it a 6.8.
Yes, he did. I've just seen it. Did not grip me with the story. Did
yes,
not grip me with the story. I done a video for it and everything. Oh,
Did do a video review of it. So
Well,
if you want to go check
yeah.
it out on our YouTube,
Okay.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, not
feel
many
free.
people have played it according to True G.
cool camera moveset. Button bashing at its best. Hacking slashing felt good. With good points, bad points. Some bosses are too hard, so probably average difficulty. This is Dan we're talking about. And then no health meter for the bosses. You don't need a health meter. Keep hitting them until they fucking fall over.
Or they die.
So is that what just
That's the long and the short of it. Well, we did it. Go and check out Dan's review on youtube.com/Xbox Tavern Official, which is where we record our podcast each and every Sunday 8 p.m. And would you look at that? It's about that time now.
It's about that time. In a minute, I'm gonna need a sentimental man or woman to pump me up.
Hello, good evening, and good welcome to Xbox Tavern's X-Pod Tavern episode 182nd. I'm Jamie, and I am once again joined by the man with the legend, the now 2 million man Ian. Come on in. 2 million man Ian. How are you?
I'm
How are you?
beautiful. My hungover.
How far away are you from 3 million now?
Oh God, nowhere near. Let's have a look. I am currently sat on 2 million. Oh, I'm on 2070.
Very nice, very nice. Well done, well done. And you say your hangover's nearly gone now, or has gone now? Sorry.
It's pretty much gone. Yeah, I had some KFC for dinner, and that helped.
Good. Yes, I was feeling a little bit groggy earlier on, but I'm ready and raring to go. We had a good time last night, and we're gonna have a good time tonight with Scottish Gruff Ross. Come on in.
Hello.
Scottish Gruff Ross.
Hello.
Hello.
And
hello,
another
hello. How are you?
other achievement news. I'm almost at 100,000.
Oh, he's catching you up, Ian.
How are
Catching
you?
you up.
I know. And my computer just shut a bit there as well.
Super
I
proud
did
of
notice.
myself.
I did notice. So what's been edging you towards 100,000 there, Ross? We'll get into what we're playing, obviously, but have you been playing something that's given you a particularly large amount of points, or just a little bit of everything?
I may or may not have went on to achievements and looked at games that are the shortest time to do 100% achievement and guides on how to do them, and then just walking through the ones that are on PC Game Pass and just going and flying through all them.
There's a method to the madness. Does that sound familiar, Ian? Sound familiar?
A little bit, yeah.
Shenanigans, yeah. Yeah. So he's got the bug now. He's going to be
being able to just like spawn in 100 troops in Age of Empires and then like end game victorious. Then boom, complete the campaign. It took me all 3.5 days. I've still not completed that 100% because I need to win an online ranked battle, and yeah, that's fucking hard.
I'm sure that'd be easy said and done. Yeah.
Guys, we like 2,000 plus hours. I've been playing the original Age of Empires game since it came out. Yeah.
Well, good luck. Let us know how you get on. But yeah, so this is Xbox Tavern's X-Pod Tavern, which, as I've mentioned in the pre-show, we record each and every Sunday 8 p.m. Just a favour this week. Graham's off celebrating his wife's 40th birthday, so happy birthday, Michelle.
Happy birthday.
Michelle.
Congratulations.
Unlucky on the Liverpool result.
I should have asked, because they were talking about that last time, weren't you? So I'm sure she's having a wonderful birthday because of they lost to wait, Newcastle.
Good one, it doesn't count. Yes.
Yeah, Newcastle. I remembered. That's it. I'm not going to get any more out of that. So
proud of you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If you're new to Xbox Tavern's Xpod Tavern, you can find us here where we are right now on YouTube, and you can also find xboxtavern.com. You go read some reviews. We'll talk about them later on, including a few games that I've been playing. We got a review coming up very, very soon from our 2 million man Ian. Do you want to just tell you? Obviously, you can't tell us about it, but tell us what you will be reviewing this week for us.
We'll be reviewing the beautiful game that is Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Ash Shadows.
Ash Shadows.
As Shadows. So you can look forward to Ian's thoughts and opinions at some point this week. I forget the date now. Is it Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that?
Tuesday will be up on the 18th at 5 p.m.
Ish. Yes, we'll look forward to seeing what the opinions are on Ash Creed Shadows. So come back to xboxtavern.com then. But while we're talking about games we can't talk about, let's very quickly segue before we get ourselves into any trouble into games we can talk about. Ross, I'm going to go to you first because me and Ian were talking about playing this last night. You've been playing a little bit of a game called Split Fiction.
I have indeed, yes. I started jumping into it with my mate who I've been playing It Takes Two and A Way Out with, so we're very well versed in. Is it Hazelight that do these games?
Yes, I believe that's the name.
Yeah.
Was it Joseph something?
Joseph Ferris here.
Yes, who's very, very, what's the word? Magnanimous in his view of games. He doesn't like to boast himself too much. But
the thing is, he's always full of himself, but he's always seemed to back it up.
I mean, he's fair play with him. He's like, he deserves to be able to say whatever the fuck he wants. He's right most of the time. So he plays Milo and Zoe. You've seen the two characters there. Milo is a sci-fi futuristic type writer, and Zoe is a ye old-fashioned fantasy type. Magic, swords, shields. Then you've got teleportation, guns, lasers, space, whatever it may be. You basically get signed up by a company who are publishing your story. But your story is just all your ideas that you've ever had for anything at all because of the neural link thing that they use. And basically, you go through each person's stories. So anything that might have come up. So one of them, you've got to sort of do a Crash Bandicoot style mission away from ogres. So you've got ogres chasing you, you left and right, jump up over the barriers and things like that. You see the sort of Minority Report scene where you've got these flying cars moving backwards and forwards. You've got to traverse through a map when you're in Milo's world. So it's a very similar concept to the other games that have been similar to this, but art style, beautiful, amazing looking game. Haven't delved too deep into the actual story yet. Only done a few of the missions. So I think we've done 3 of one and 2 of the other stories. We've been in like 2 different rifts that you go through. But so far, it's again going to be one of these games where if you like that sort of co-op adventure where you can see what the other person's doing and you're relying on sort of teamwork to get through some of the missions, then this is right up your street. You will wholeheartedly enjoy this game.
Yeah, it looks really awesome. Like I didn't play It Takes Two or A Way Out.
A Way Out. It Takes Two is a nice, slower pace. A Way Out's got much more hard hitting storyline. Yeah.
But this one in particular, I think it is that mix of like fantasy and sci-fi. Just I'm sort of desperate to play it, but I haven't really had a chance to think about it yet. But as I said, me and Ian last night were talking about possibly starting playing it together.
The good thing about it is, like, in regards to, so like me and my mate Graham who plays it, we're both like avid readers, but his book genre is sort of sci-fi futuristic, whereas I prefer ye old Game of Thrones, Witcher, Lord of the Rings, more fantasy elements. So this is like perfect, like 2 worlds converging with 2 writers that are both sides of the spectrum. Although I must say the character I am, Zoe, who is the old-fashioned fantasy type writer, she's, without sounding bad to my esteemed co-host, she's the really annoying, overly portrayed English character. She's really fucking annoying.
No, okay.
Really fucking annoying.
I've heard
it's not the biggest trick coming out of me, I swear, but fucking
I've heard a lot of love for this game, but I've also heard a lot of people say the same thing. Like,
she's fucking
some of the acting's not necessarily, or some of the character work is not especially great. How is the co-op stuff? Because obviously it's a co-op only game.
Yes,
are
so
you
it's a lot
just
of
going through together, or is there like, you do this one thing while I do this other thing, and then we sort of meet on the
so
other side?
there's certain sections where I'll be stuck at a part because she needs to. So once you start, I've not experienced it in the fantasy part, but in the futuristic part, Mayo gets like an energy sword and can invert gravity, so she can like run up and down the sides of the walls and things like that.
Okay.
And the other character gets like a lasso and can like grab objects out the air and push them, pull them, and things like that. So like she needs to maybe go over and open a big storage container that needs cut open, so I can grab the boxes out, so she can get across a pathway, so I can then hit a switch over the other side with my lasso so I can get across. So there's elements like that where you have to you're relying on the other person doing what they need to do before you can progress.
Okay.
One wee other good thing that they've added to it that they didn't have in the other games is if you want to play it with, like, say, a partner who's maybe not a gamer, there is a checkpoint like teleport service. So before, you used to just have to wait. They had to complete the puzzle that you were on. So say it was a jumping puzzle, like one side went down, one side went up. If they couldn't do it, you were just like, can't really do nothing.
You can do it. I believe
You can do it, sweetheart.
can.
Come on, just got to press the jump on. Just press the fucking jump on. But now,
lies more than the bosses in It Takes Two, where you're just like a nice casual parkour bit as the guy, and obviously the other person's like jumping like mad, trying to avoid everything. Like, oh, well, it's easy for me.
Yeah, I'm done. We talk about. But now, like, if you progress to X amount of distance in front of your character, the other character, they just sort of teleport right onto you, so you're not sort of stuck waiting, which is quite handy. But that's toggleable. So if you're playing it with Ian, for example, you don't have to have it on. So it's not like you can just sit there and go and have like 3-piece dinner and Ian's doing all the shit while you just get carried through the game. So you've got that option to turn it on or off.
Oh, it's a nice little concession then, because as you said, it seems like a game that would be good for partners or people who don't traditionally play.
But me and my wife have played. Me and my wife have played That Takes Two, and that was one of the things. Like, so I'm obviously just sort of waiting for her a lot of the times, and she gets frustrated at it because then, like, if she can't do it, she feels like she's taking the enjoyment away from it. But at least with this now, you can just go continue on the game.
Nice.
There we go. That sounds much better.
So in terms of, is it mixed up quite a lot in terms of what you're doing? So you're not just, like you said, it's not just jumping puzzles or
no.
open blocks
So
to put ledges out or whatever puzzles.
No. So there's so like I say, there was a Crash Bandicoot type level where you're running towards the camera. There's been a couple of sort of climbing puzzles. So you've had like a tower that you've had to get to the top of, but you've got enemies trying to cut the tower down as you're jumping up it. It's like one slip and then you're fucked. There's like underground areas that you've got to try to think of a game that's got them. It's like big grates that are underground. You have to cut through the holes and sort of swim through while the other person's like trying to open doors as you're coming through them. So if they miss, you end up dying because they've not hit the right switch or things like that. So there's quite a variety of different things. But as I say, I've only done a few of the future ones and 2 of the past ones so far. So I think I'm maybe 2 or 2 in.
Nice.
But enjoyable so far.
And obviously, I'm assuming you're playing online, like co-op.
Yes.
Are you finding there is any issues with like lag or delays or anything like that? No.
Everything seems to be running.
My only concern, but
everyone I've played of these ones has always been done online first when I've been playing it, and touch wood, there's never been any issues with, like you say, lag or like rubber banding where they're doing a puzzle and next thing I know they're fucking flew behind me or things like that. So
very nice. But so you're enjoying it quite a lot so far. Would you say are you enjoying it more than It Takes Two at this point, or Way Out at this point?
I think I prefer it just because it seems a wee bit more. Well, it seems to be a fucking path that they take. They've always got one really annoying character in it, because in the other one it was the book. Can't remember what the book's name was. It Pedro?
I don't remember, but I remember a lot of people.
Fucking the book I loved. Oh, it was fucking.
Oh, the Book of Love, was a wanker.
Yeah. Oh, I fucking hate that cunt. So because he's not in it, it's probably a bit more enjoyable. But I think just because you're in like the 2 different worlds, it adds something extra to it. So, and really enjoying it so far. Probably going to be Well, I say that I've got quite a few other games coming out this year, but so far it's one of the best games I've played this year.
Yes, it's like I said, certainly one I want to try and get to at some point sooner rather than later, but it might end up just sitting on the back burner for a little while. But good, I'm glad you're enjoying it. We've got a review coming to xboxtime.com as well. AJ's reviewing it for us, so that'll be with us at some point in the next week or two, I imagine. I haven't actually spoke to him to see how he's getting on with it, but he seemed very keen for it, so hopefully he's enjoying it as well. Yeah, and like I said, maybe me and Ian will play some at some point, and we'll get some live stream, and you can see my rage at Ian failing everything, and I have to hold his hand. That's how.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
He thinks he's the one that's gonna. I'll never forget.
Are they quick time events, Ross?
Yes.
Oh shit!
Fuck.
Well, maybe we won't
Play.
play.
My man and Medan playthrough.
Quick time events and button bashing as well.
Excellent. Oh, we can do button bashing. Button bashing, fine. It's the quick time events there.
Channel your inner track and field.
Yeah.
And there is also a section where one person's flying a spaceship and one person's pointing at the back of the spaceship trying to fire. So as you can imagine, that's a recipe for fucking disaster.
Yeah, that sounds like,
especially if it's Jay shooting.
I look forward to causing carnage on that very much indeed. Nice. All right. A bit of Split Fiction. Like I said, everybody seems to be quite high on it. It's got loads of really high reviews so far. So, yeah, as you said at the beginning, Joseph Fares is quite right in his bullishness to be like, "Fuck you, I make good games."
Yeah.
apparently,
I say I'm going to make you a game of the year. I'm going to make you a fucking game of the year.
I think it's going to have stiffer competition this year than it Take-Two.
Maybe one or two games might give it a bit of a challenge. Yes.
You never know. Nice. Okay. Well, I look forward to playing that at some point. What I have been playing though, I'll slide on in now. It's a little bit of the old sports entertainment graps, a bit of a man-on-man action, a bit of meat bashing and fighting and drama and all the other good stuff. A bit of WWE 2K25, and it's probably the best wrestling game I've ever played. Purely because it's got such a strong base on what they've done over the last several years, where they took it away after, was it 2K20? I think it was, when it was the awful one. They took it away for a while, and then since they brought it back, 22, 23, 24, they sort of just gradually improving the in-ring action, the modes, the match types, the roster, etc., etc. And this one has just got fucking more in it than I think you could ever possibly reasonably expect or need. It's got, I don't know exact numbers, but it's got fucking dozens of game modes, all of which are customizable. So in just obviously like one-on-one, there's 1-on-1, 1-on-2, 2-on-2, 2-on-3, 3, just all the way down to up to, I think it's 8 players you can have in a ring at once. And then you got like tables, ladders, and chairs, fucking Money in the Bank, TLC, Elimination Chamber, Royal Rumble. They got the Raw Underground mode from, was that during the pandemic?
Yeah.
They introduced Underground. I mean, it didn't.
Yeah, Raw Underground was pandemic shit.
To be honest, it's not the best mode. They made quite a big deal of it, but it's basically they take the ring ropes away, and then they have people surround the ring, but everything else plays out the same.
Basically,
it's just another mode. Yeah, basically, yeah. But I mean, it's still fun to play. Pardon?
Is Tamina in it?
She is actually. Yeah.
Nobody's meaner than Tamina.
2 versions of her as well, I think.
Really? Oh my god.
Yeah, the roster in this one, I think it's over 300 characters in it, including all the different variants. So there's about 4 different Triple H's, a few different Stone Colds, Undertakers, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, stuff like that. But yeah, you've got so many callbacks. You've got loads of old like Macho Man, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, not Hacksaw Jim Duggan, sorry. Yokozuna, fucking like dozens and dozens of old wrestlers.
Yokozuna and Hacksaw Jimmy Duggan mixed up.
No, quite
a
mixed up.
Because you went Hacksaw, not him.
For some reason, I had Hacksaw in my head, but I don't think he's actually in the game. And I was like, why did I say Hacksaw Jim in the game? So let's move on from Hacksaw Jim Duggan, because I don't think he's in it. But yeah, they got loads of old wrestlers. They've got obviously loads of new wrestlers, all the NXT guys. And yeah, it just ends up with like I said, a roster of 300 wrestlers. And now you can have men versus women for the first time in a long time in a WWE game, so anyone can fight anyone. This time, which my daughter was very pleased about because she's a big fan of Rhea Ripley and she likes to pick her and then beat up me like whoever I've picked. So we had a match. I think I was CM Punk when I thought she was Rhea Ripley, and yeah, she beat the shit out of me because she's good like that. Yeah, so you got loads of game modes which would be good fun, like when we get together to watch WrestleMania and stuff. There's so much more. Unfortunately, yeah. And there's a lot of fucking Prime advertisements as well, like the ring mat, and they got the Prime, the little table over in the corner next to the announce table with the bottle and stuff on it. So every time we get out of the ring, throw someone into that and just knock it off, so I can't see it anymore. But yeah, so you got loads of loads of match types, loads of wrestlers to choose from, and fucking loads of game modes as well. So the big one is obviously the Bloodline Showcase, like the showcase they have every year. I haven't played all the way through it yet, but I've done several of the matches, and it's quite interesting because you've got the live action sort of old footage of the wrestlers, and you've got Paul Heyman narrating it. He's telling you like the story and the background of the wrestlers and part of the family that's involved. And then you play the match, and then you get a little bit afterwards as well. It doesn't cut out to real life footage in the match anymore. It's all sort of done in engine, which keeps it flowing nicely. And sometimes you play a match where whatever member of the family the bloodline was, they lost, so you have to rewrite history, as it were, and then win the match to have the bloodline be even more fucking dominant than they already have been over the last 4 years.
But can you make sure you don't end the story?
Well, at this point, I haven't got to the very, very end yet, but it does open. The very first thing you do is the end of that match, where you've got John Cena run down and Seth Rollins come in and Undertaker and stuff like that. And it's quite a nice little setup, but yeah, then it sort of goes all the way back and builds back up to that again, which again, I haven't quite got to that point. So yeah, Showcase, very good, very interesting, especially if you like a bit of wrestling history or if you've been watching it as long as I have. You've got My Rise, which is my favorite mode this time around. So it's like a your own created style, rise up through the ranks. But this one, they come from one of the backgrounds you can set. I chose to be like an indie wrestler from another company.
AEW.
Yeah, and you join WWE just as NXT superstars are causing a mutiny. They like rebrand themselves as Mutiny, and they're led by Kevin Owens and Bayley, I think it is, and it has current and former NXT wrestlers basically band together to try and take down Raw and SmackDown. And you just go through the sort of, it's quite lighthearted, quite cheesy, wrestling storyline, good guys, bad guys, betrayals, turns, twists, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I quite enjoyed playing that so far. It's all fully voiced, so all the wrestlers that are involved actually, perform and read their lines and stuff. So you got people like CM Punk, you got Drew McIntyre, Bayley, Kevin Owens, Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, stuff like that. But apart from Drew McIntyre, who does a great job, everybody else, I think, was probably sat there on their phone going, okay, read your lines now. Okay, yeah. All right, so we're going to go fight Mutiny, I suppose, are we? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right, yeah. Is that done? Yeah, okay, right, I'm off. They just don't sound interested at all. Especially the worst one, actually, is CM Punk. He just seems utterly uninterested. And I mean, I don't know, maybe he was uninterested. I don't know, because he plays a big part in the story, especially early on. But every time he was talking, it's just like, you don't want to do this, do you? You really didn't want to be in the recording booth for this. Which makes it even funnier when I say that Drew McIntyre is actually the best, because he's like, when he's talking about Punk, he's still getting the digs in. I think at one point he mentions his MMA career, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll fucking have him. Don't worry." He's like, proper goes into it. I was like, "Yes, go on, Drew McIntyre." So my Rise mode's really good, and then you've got obviously the creator suite. So you make a superstar ring, move set, entrances, arenas, fucking signs, loads of stuff. And teenage Jamie, I think I said this last year as well, would be very excited about this, because there's so much you can customize. I mean, you can make obviously other wrestlers from other companies, but you can make your own wrestler however you like. You can put all sorts of real life images on them and different colors and materials and layers, and it's incredible the detail you can go into this time.
You made yourself
the same as well. I have, well, I have twice, and I'll get into why in a minute.
Does he have an orange beanie?
One of them has an orange beanie, yeah. And yeah, it's great. Like I said, there's a lot of depth. I don't have the time these days to sit there and spend hours making a character, but if you do, you're going to be fucking laughing because it's incredible. And then you've got things like my GM, my faction, which is a load of card collectible nonsense, but and the universe mode where you create your own WWE universe basically. So there's so much to do to get into. Like each one of the modes could easily be their own game, but the fact that you've got all of them within one game is just insane, quite frankly. And I don't know how I'll ever find the time to play it all. And then you get the final big addition in the island. Are you familiar with the island, Ross? Have you seen much about this? Yeah, so it's the island of relevancy. Roman Reigns invited people to this island to compete for his approval, basically. And the long and the short of it is, it's sort of like a mini open world MMO type thing. So you're in this big hub area. Excuse me. You can run around and you can see other players running around. You can challenge them to matches, but there's also a set of like single player missions to follow, much like an MMO. So you can interact with the players, but if you don't want to do that, you can just follow the points to do these missions and get XP and then upgrade yourself. Problem is, it's dog shit. Like it's not good at all. It's blatantly obvious that the only reason it exists is to get people to stump up for some what they call it, the VC, whatever that is.
But V-Bucks, whatever you call it.
Yeah, 2K's version of V-Bucks, basically, because when you start, you get to give your character some stats, but you can only go up to, I think I got to 75, 76. And then to get more, you have to spend VC, which you do earn in game, but at such a fucking slow rate.
At full rate.
Yeah, and when I was in the early access period, so when it got early launch, I think on the 10th to the 14th or 15th, whenever it was released, there was already players in there with 100 ratings. So, well, you obviously haven't played it because it's not physically possible. Even if you played every waking moment of the last 4 days, you never would have got to 100 without paying for. I dread to think how much they spent to get their rating that high. So that's bad enough. But then the actual presentation, the flow, the things you're doing is just shit. Quite frankly, there's no other way of putting it. It almost reminds me. I think I said this to Ian last night. You play Jump Force, Ross?
No. Oh yeah, no. Yeah. With Goku, Luffy, and things like that.
The anime sort of crossover thing. It's like the quality of that I thought was awful, and this is very similar. So it's just like when you're moving around the hub world, it's slow. You can't. There's no map, and it very vague directions of where to go. It's not big, but it's go find the R-Truth by the arcade. Where's the fuck's the arcade? I have no idea. So you just got to run around until you find him. There's no way of sort of checking, where you want to be going or anything like that. There is a quest list, but again, it's very vague. It doesn't give you any specific directions or anything. To change your attire or your movesets, you have to physically go to one of these booths that are in the world. So it's not just a drop-down menu. And that's the same for everything. So if you need to do a mission, if you need to find someone, if you need to change your stuff, if you need to go to a different area, you have to run very slowly around this world and find it in real space, as it were, not just I've got a menu, I want to go here, blah blah blah, which gets very tedious and very old very quickly. And the reason I made two characters is because that character you make there isn't transferable to the rest of the game. So
why?
I can only assume it's because you're stumping up the V-Bucks. I'm going to call them V-Bucks now, to buff them up. Because in the regular character creator, you can make your character as strong as you like. It depends on how you want to present them, because you get basically unlimited skill points. Whereas in this mode, you have to pay to get the skill points up.
And your create your own character, my advice, you said, is that transferable as well to the main?
That one is. You can use that anywhere. Yeah. But
that one's got limited stats, and you have to grow it, don't you?
Well, no, the one that you create outside of the island, as far as I remember, right, you can basically give them whatever stats you like.
Oh, in the MyWise one?
in just the general create a character,
Hmm.
because there's no grinding or anything like that. It's up to you to sort of determine how they're going to play, as it were. Whereas again, the island one, they're trying to get you to pay to
Money.
yourself up.
You still got Swanton as your finisher.
As one of them, yeah. You can have up to 5 finishers now, which is nice.
What?
So yeah, you can have 5 finishers, 5 signatures, and then the granularity in the move set. Like I think just as an example, for them sitting in the corner, like on the top rope type thing, you've got about 8 different moves you can pick from just from that one location. If they're facing you, let know if they're facing backwards or if they're sitting down or if you're running. It's insane the amount of detail you can get into.
You mean I need to go through the whole game, like through the whole fucking move list again and try and find out what WWE have named the One-Winged Angel?
Yes, although I feel like they might very well have made it a lot easier this time, because there's some of their names I was like, yes, that's blatantly obvious what that one is. I didn't even need to.
I can see trying to find the one, because I always have the One-Winged Angel as my finisher, and see trying to find it. It's like, fuck, what have you named it? It's like electric chair bomb or something they call it.
Yeah, they have got a tab in there for, I think they call it new moves, and there's depending on what section you're in, there's dozens of new moves they've added that haven't been in previous games as well. So they might very well have added another version of that move and called it something more similar. But yeah, the rest of the game is tremendous. It really is the best wrestling game.
Is Joe Hendry in it?
He's not. No TNA stars in this.
Not fucking buying it. Not buying it.
There is some DLC packs. I think it's 6 packs coming out, and some of them still have unannounced people to join.
There's got to be a TNA crossover, isn't there?
Yeah, there's not one that's sort of labelled as a TNA crossover, but they have got Abyss coming, who obviously used to be in TNA. And there was Jordan Grace, who now is technically WWE now, but and I'm sure there's another TNA person in there that they have announced. So yeah, so maybe one of the empty spots that they haven't announced yet will be Joe Hendry. I'll be surprised if it isn't, but I suppose maybe they're saving it for when he makes the official jump over to WWE at some point. But go on.
No, I was going to say, so which pack version have you got? Have you got the original version or have you got the Bloodline version?
I was very kindly given the Bloodline version for review.
What things add to that? Because obviously I know there's 3 ones, isn't there? There's that one, the Dead Man, and the Bloodline. What's the difference?
The Bloodline one gets all the DLC included. It got early access. It gives you an X amount of 2k V-Bucks and a few other bits and pieces like that, like stat boosts for like My Faction and My Rise and stuff like that. Not My Rise, sorry. My Faction Universe, stuff like that. But yeah, I think the Dead Man one includes some of the upgrades, but I don't think you get all the DLC maybe. And then obviously the standard one, just bog standard, you don't get nothing extra.
But on the pricey side,
it is a little bit pricey. Again, very kindly given a copy so I could review it, which you can read on xboxhandheld.com right now. But it's I mean, if you're going to get all the DLC anyway, you're probably best off picking that one up. But in terms of the general game, like in the ring, it's easily the best it's been, at least since they brought it back, if not for a very, very, very long time. The moves flow together nicely. There's, as I said, there's lots of moves to choose from in terms of your custom character. You can edit all the regular superstars as well. So if you want to change some of their moves, if they maybe change stuff in real life, you can update that as well. Like I said, the match types is insane amount of match types and arenas to unlock and other variants of characters to unlock. And again, playing the game, everything that I found in some of the older games, like if you transition from a grapple to like a punching combo, it can be a bit like jarring, whereas this one seems to flow together a lot nicer. There's not so much of the weird physics where you punch them through a table and they go shooting off out the ring, halfway across the arena or anything like that.
Damn.
Yeah, and playing the game and with the wealth of options, it's just easily the best wrestling game I've played. Like I said, in a very long time, if not ever. Just don't bother with the island. Just fucking get that in the fucking bin. Pile of shit. Absolute waste of time. So WWE 2K25 gets the thumbs up. The island gets fucking shipped off. Roman Reigns can fucking keep his island. I'm not interested anymore.
Yes, the whole Batista.
Yeah, fucking do right. But yes, so Good game. Good game. Good game. Nice. All right. Well, I'll shut up for a minute then. Ian, I know you said you've obviously
Hi.
playing a game you're not allowed to talk about. Have you got anything else you've been playing that you want to talk about quickly?
I've literally played 0 games other than the game I can't talk about because that game has put many hours of my life into it, and I can't talk about it because
Okay. Well, I
That's what
won't
I've
put
been
you on the
playing.
spot any further then. So, all right, I'll leave that there then. We'll come back to you next week or the week after, and we can talk
Little
about
teaser
that
for
then.
it.
let's just say it's a very
so-
good game.
Well, we're not allowed to say anything, are we? So let's just not say we're very good. Ross.
Yes, sir.
Now you've got a couple of games on your list here. We had a little chat beforehand, but did you talk about Antfall yet? What you got to play?
I haven't. No, we talked about it off camera because we've done the
Okay,
quiz
so-
last week, so I haven't actually had the chance to.
Okay, so Ross got the chance to preview. Was it 90 minutes? Was it
90 minutes,
roughly?
yes.
of Atomfall, which is out very soon on Game Pass, and you got a full gameplay video of you playing it up on youtube.com/Xbox Handheld Official, which you go watch right now. But should you want some descriptive words to go with it, Ross, tell us what you thought of Atomfall, what you played.
It's very different to what I was going in thinking it would be. It's not.
Yeah, okay.
I know, obviously, when you hear post-apocalyptic, your first sort of jump to is like a Fallout game, Stalker, those sort of lines. I'm trying to think what's the best way to do it. I would, only in the way for the fact you've got different options to do stuff, I would say it's more inclined to a Far Cry game. So you've come to a base where you have to climb a fucking tower to unlock an area. It doesn't have that shit, but what it does have is the different ways where you can go about it. So combat wise, you can go all, isn't it, say guns, we'll say cricket bats and axes, blazing. So if you've got a group and you just want to go in and start throwing about left, right, and centre, you can do that. There is guns, but because of where it's set and the way it's set up, you're in an isolation zone. So everything's been cut off from the outside world for 5 years at this point. So there isn't like a myriad of different weapons and ammo and stuff like that. You're not going to get that. Plus, given the fact that it's set in the Lake District, Northern England, there's not a lot of guns in the UK. So you're not going to turn around every 2 seconds and pick up automatic machine guns and things like that. It's rusty old revolver pistols, shotguns that farmers would have, very basic type weaponry, and then you've got your melee weapons, like say axes, clubs, cricket bats. You can craft like Molotovs and things, but you've got the option of, as I say, going on for as much as you want. You can be stealthy, so you can avoid combat altogether. You don't get penalised for it. Or you've got the option to like watch the routes that they follow and then sort of try and pick enemies off one at a time as you're working your way through an area. Landscape wise, it's absolutely stunning. Beautiful big open expanses. So most of the game I played was set in this forest area. There was a castle that I eventually come to at one point in the game, but even in the gameplay session that we were in, we could see other people's feeds, and like some folk were away in completely different ways that I went. So there's still loads that I didn't even get to experience in that first hour and a half. You didn't get to see the start of it, so it was a save that they had set up and away you went. But combat really satisfying. It's not difficult, but you're not like a sort of tank. You take a couple of decent hits, you're going to go down. Crafting's quite a big thing, so you'll see it. You have to make your own bandages. You can find ones, but you've got the option to craft the Molotovs and things I was saying. And then there's a skill-based system in regards to you have to unlock like magazines, and that's how you unlock certain things in your skill tree. The map's quite cool. There's no waypoint system, so there's no hand holding when it comes to quests. So you don't get any quests in the game. You get hints or leads. Sorry. So they'll maybe say, "Oh yeah, the castle near somewhere." I'm sure I've seen some of the druids in that sort of area. So you have to go and find the castle by yourself, and then you get some details in regards to that, and then you might be able to speak to somebody, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I think I remember speaking to Dave, and he said something about if you go to the old mine, there's more stuff in it there. So you have to go and find the entrance to the mine. It doesn't just give you right. You've started this mission. This is exactly where you go to do the mission. Just head on. You have to sort of explore to try and find it. So it's quite. There's no hand holding in it, I wouldn't say. There's a lot more you have to explore, as Jay will be quite pleased to hear. You have to speak to everybody. And you you can interact with pretty much everybody. Everybody I tried to speak to had something to say to me. Because, like I say, they'll be the ones to help you progress quests by giving you wee tidbits of information. And then there's different... I don't know how you would explain it, but different factions react differently to how you behave around them. So there's a military faction. So if you're all nicey, they're quite like, "Oh, fuck you, you're not worth my breath." But then if you go in like really aggressive to just be common villagers, they're going to be like, "I don't want to talk to you, I'm scared." And then you don't get the information at it. So you have to use different... It shows you in the conversation like assertive, cautious, peaceful, friendly. So you've got it gives you an idea what the tone would be when you say it.
Okay, is that like the Mass Effect? Like you got like the Paragon and Renegade. You got that?
No, they're just it's like so. Just the options are 4 options, but it'll say like what tone you're going to say it in.
Yeah. Okay.
Beside it, you'll see this, but here I'm coming up against one of it's the Bard, as the BARD, and they've got like automatrons and robots that you have to sort of avoid, which are a wee bit more later level type idea to take them on. But as you see, you can sort of just hide away and they'll start going back to patrols. You'll see like trespassing areas. Enemies are a lot more aggressive. So you can, if you're just in a standard area and you get seen by, say, a druid, if you hide, they'll sort of be like, "All right, it's fine. Just keep on moving." Whereas in trespassing areas, they'll actually actively pursue you. So you need to move way out, try and work your way around them and then come back to what you're ever trying to do.
And you can stealth skill and stuff or not?
Yeah, you can self. So I think there was a part of it just before Jay fast forward on. There's one of the druids just about to go down a ladder and sort of snuck up behind them, put him in a chokehold, broke the neck, moved away. So a few different ways to go about it, but like I say, I was expecting to go in a bit more Fallout type game, and it's definitely not that. There is a lot less hand-holding that's in a Fallout game, a lot of crafting for survival. You're not able to take ridiculous amounts of damage before you go down. So while it's not an out-and-out survival game, there's definitely more survival aspects to it.
It seems interesting. Like when you started it was saying like Far Cry, that was not where I was expecting that to go. I was thinking more like said Fallout, Elder Scrolls, perhaps.
More just because of the combat type idea. You don't like you've got like you're not a tank. You're not some invisible type enemy where you can stand in front of 10 guys and blast your way through them. You've got very limited guns, very limited like weapon. Your weapon breaks over time. So again, you can't just run around fucking weapons flailing and just try to take out everybody.
Yeah. Okay. And is it like one big open world, or is it set in like where you are now, and then the other map is somewhere loading?
So it's all one map, but like how I'm in this area, you have to go like through a loading screen to get into the buildings or the underground or the mines or whatever it may be.
Okay. So you enjoyed your hour and a half. Then did they say roughly like where it was in the game you played? I don't know.
I think it was about an hour or so in. Like you're started with like a very basic gun, a very basic shotgun, some melee weapons, a couple of bits of healing, and that's it.
So when the game's out, is it the end of the month? End of March?
27th, it drops in a Game Pass.
March. Okay, so we got sort of 2 weeks ish to look forward to playing it. Look forward to playing it again.
It looks like it's a game that you're going to be able to put a lot of time into if you so choose. I don't think it's mandatory, but because of the amount of exploration, the ability to talk to everybody, I think...
I told Jay that. I get excited.
There is, as far as I'm led to believe, various endings. So I think there's... I think how many parties there are. So like, you've got Protocol, which is a military establishment. You've got the Druids that you've seen in the clip. And there's something else I'm sure, but for the life of me, I can't remember what it was I came across. So there's different endings depending on how you sort of deal with different people and things like that. So
a lot of fun in the stories then.
Yeah, and a lot of what they said was there's the ability to go through the story however you choose to go through it. So don't be like, oh, I need to make sure I don't kill this person, because you might be able to kill that person, but 20 minutes later you might come across like their workshop, and then you find notes in their workshop that allow you to get the same information as you would have done the quest by them. So they've planned it out so that you don't necessarily lock yourself out unless you sort of commit to too far a path, and then you'll be locked out of it, same as sort of most quest-based games. But you'll see, like in the top corner, was taken by the Druids to their castle. There's no marker to show the castle. There's just hand-scribbled notes, so you have to sort of navigate the map to find out how to get up to the castle. And then once you're in the castle, there's no markers to say, this is the item you're looking for, or this is the person you need to speak to. You just need to go in and search everywhere.
I assume with that, though, that you at least get some either notes or quest lists, so you at least can sort of refer back to it to say,
so
if you haven't played for a few days and you load up and go, what the fuck was I doing?
Yeah, so if you like in the tabs, what you'll see, there's investigation. There's a tab that says that, and that's where all your leads go into. So you can see all the various different leads that you've got.
Okay. Nice. Okay. And did they give you a rough idea of, as you said, it's a game you could spend hundreds of hours of possibly.
They didn't say this is the time. From what I played and just trying to extrapolate from, and you're probably talking 30.
Okay.
I would say
that's about acceptable these days, so I can handle that. Yeah, nice. I mean, it looks very interesting. Like you said, that sort of British setting, sort of twist of Fallout, Far Cry.
Very dry humour.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, very dry. Like the guy, like they said that they were like the team is made up of people from America, all over the world, essentially Europe, Britain, and like a lot of the times they were trying to explain that it has to have this type of humour in it, and the rest of the people were just like, What the fuck is that?
I think the Americans don't tend to get our sense of humour very well.
Like they were saying, though, it's like there was one guy and it was like the quintessential type, like Yorkshireman. So like you first meet him and it's like tit lad, tit witch, tit low drop, and the guy was just sort of like the American that was on the cast was like, I had to get them to like break everything down for me because none of this makes sense. It's like why is everyone start with T, for example? So it's very much a case of classic British sort of ideas behind it. Like they said that a lot of the inspiration comes from like the sci-fi elements of like 60s Doctor Who. So that there's like everything's like 60s to 70s type British TV programs. So another wee thing about it is if you're any way, shape, or form into like lore and things like that, they're like reading up on what the game's based on. Something I'd never heard of, but it was up until Chernobyl, it was the world's biggest nuclear disaster. So the Windscale disaster. Didn't even realise we had a nuclear incident in the UK, but there you go. But a video game built off it, so you learn something there every day.
Wouldn't have surprised the Scots did it.
Nah, go as far. Go to North England. It still didn't come up to Scotland because it was like whoa.
A bit too crazy.
Let's not fuck with these guys. Come on.
That'd be DLC, won't it?
We don't need mutant haggis.
They've never given them nuclear bombs. Jesus, they've been deep frying it. Well, you know,
deep fried.
Can we use this plutonium to do deep frying?
I mean,
make it quicker.
It's be turbo deep fried pizza crunch there. Yeah, nice. Well, look, I do look forward to playing this. I mean, the backlog's already stacking up. I still haven't even started Avowed yet.
Good luck.
And a few other things like a dragon and stuff. But yeah, it does look very interesting. And like you said, the British setting and the humor and stuff is definitely more appealing. I think it might bump it up the list a little bit faster than some of the other games that we're going to get to.
Yeah, I think for me, you've sold me on this already. So
I've really enjoyed to play it. Cannot wait until it comes out.
It feels like one of those games where you can kind of, like you say, immerse yourself quite easily. bit like the
Yeah.
Fallout games where you casually
Well, you'll
playing, and next thing
You'll
you know,
see on the
4
screen
hours.
there, like the druids area, you'll just see like, it was just up to like the top left. They've got like references to like the Wicker Man and things like that. So it takes a lot of sort of old tropes from British films or British TV. So your
What the fuck was
commentary.
that there, was there?
Oh, that's the thing, because it's just like a single shotgun. It's terrible. It also doesn't help that, as you'll see, I have to go into one of my settings and realize that the shotgun is like you fire it and it's like 3 to 5 working days, and then it decides it wants to reload.
Did you try inverting the controls? You might have done it right there.
That doesn't affect
I
reload.
need if I was do that.
Easier, yeah. But yeah, no, I'm good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm looking forward to there's this 90-minute video which you've been watching while you've been talking. I've sort of been skipping around it, but you can watch the whole thing on our YouTube channel right now, should you wish. And then game's out in a couple of weeks, and we can play it and see if the full thing lives up to the hype. And hopefully it does, because so far this year we've already got some fucking bangers. So if we add this to the list as well, why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? Okay. Nice. Well, thank you very much, Ross. Bit of an atom full. I'm going to jump in very quickly. I haven't got too much to say on this one, but I've been playing some more Eternal Strands this week. In fact, I was playing it until about 2 minutes before we started this podcast this evening. And I think it's fucking brilliant. No
spoilers.
No spoilers. No spoilers. I mean, to be honest with you, the lore is interesting. And I am listening most of the time, but the last day or so, I've sort of drifted off a bit. I was like, just let me get back to burning things and fucking freezing the giant Goliaths to the ground and climbing up and beating the shit out of them. The interaction between the elements you can control and the physics-based powers you have, and the different swords and bows and arrows and stuff you can craft and upgrade. And as I said, whenever we spoke about it last week or the week before, like it's such an easy-going RPG where you can craft a new sword, for example, and then if you decide that actually you want to increase its power, you can go back and reforge it. You can add better materials into it, and then any materials you did have in it, you get back, which you can then go and chop in for resources to upgrade the station. So it's not a wasted resource where it just disappears into the ether. And there's lots of little quality of life things like that, throughout the whole game. It's a very easygoing RPG, even though it's not an easy game to play, because some of the big arcs and stuff like that can be quite tough to fight. I was fighting them. What's it called? Some kind of like worm weaver or something earlier on. I don't know if you fought that one, Ross. It's like a massive
worm.
No, it almost looks like a dinosaur, like a triceratops or something. It's got this massive tail that can uses the words failing me, the levitation power, basically.
Okay.
It grabs stuff, but because it's so massive, it picks up huge chunks of scenery and just lobs it at you. And then if you kill him, then you can upgrade your own ability to grab stuff and throw it around. And trying to fight him earlier on, fuck me. He was launching me left, right, and centre. But it's so much fun.
The big bosses are not like walks in the park. They are. They're a good challenge, and they're working at the mechanics in them as well, because it's not just run and hit them as many times as you can, and that's it. You'll beat the boss. That works. That's how you defeat them. But when you want to get the essence and things that you actually need, there is a set way to go. Like, see, the first time I fought the dragon, where you have to basically get it to go up in the sky, and when you're trying to grab it, but you have to keep it for dive bombing. I spent about 30 minutes trying to get it to not dive bomb, and then apparently you work out you have to damage its leg or something. So it doesn't drop down.
Damage one wing and its leg, so it can't land, and it also can't do like a barrel roll in the air. But if you damage both wings, then it won't fly, so which means you won't be able to get the essence. So it's like a delicate balance of.
So it's quite good. There's different sort of mechanics per boss, like the ice one where it's got the fur, where you have to burn the fur off to get that weak spot. It's just cool wee things like that.
Yeah, and again, the elements, the way you use the elements, like you said, fire or ice, not just with the bosses, but in general. So the weather changes each day when you go to an area, and I found a lot recently. I've been going into, they call it drought, where it's like
the fire damage. So you put one flame out and it's
it just fucking goes crazy. And I was trying to fight. It is good for me, except for the fact that even though my fire resistance is quite high, it's not that high.
Jay spawns in at camp, checks to see if the weather says drought. Nah, fuck it, I'm going back to bed. Comes back. We've got a drought. Yes, let's fucking go.
Yes, let's fucking go for it.
Fire!
Yeah, when I was trying to fight the one of the arcs, it was the Arc of Flame. Actually, I was in a drought and just fucking fire everywhere.
Why would you do that?
Absolutely brilliant. Well, I was there anyway. I was like, well, let's fucking have him. And we got him down. We got his essence, and now I've got the fully upgraded little dude you can spawn, the little fire dude.
Does he get any better? Because he starts off fucking shit.
He starts off shit, but he's much more helpful now. He actually does some damage, and when he explodes, he fucking goes for it.
Good man.
Yeah, I'm having a great time with it. Like I said, I think I'm about 15 or 16 hours into it now. I don't think I've got a tremendous amount of time left to get to the end of the story, but yeah, like I said, I'm just having a good time exploring and playing with the powers. I managed to get a flame bow and a flame sword and shield, so I'm fucking laughing as well.
Fire these tits.
If I can't set something on fire, I'm going to set something on fire another way, one way or the other. So things are getting burned. And yeah, just trying to explore like the maps. Like they're not massive, but they're not too tiny. They got a good sort of range to explore, and trying to find all the little hidden collectibles and stuff that then let you see more of what's to be in the map when you spawn in. And yeah, I still got 3 or 4 sort of question mark slots in the codex for the big bosses, so I haven't seen some of the big guys yet. But so I'm looking forward to seeing what they come up with, because all the ones I've fought so far have been a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm having a great time playing it. Hopefully I'll get it finished this week, and then we can move on to one of the 50,000 other games that have come out that I haven't started yet.
Yeah.
At some point this year. Yeah, so if you haven't played Eternal Strands yet, it's on Game Pass, and yeah, it's probably my favorite game this year.
Yeah, it's a really good game. Yeah, it's really good the way that they've done it.
Yeah, it's just there's some stiff competition.
I keep telling me games to check out. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, there's too many games and not enough time. Just stop now. Just stop. But yeah, we'll find time to play all these, I'm sure, somehow, some way. But Ross, you've got one more game on your list. Let's get into that quickly, and then we can move on.
We can't, because you've died a painful death. I
was going to say I would remind you, Ian, but I mean you've decided to shit the bed. Maybe if I set him on fire, that will.
Nope. I think he's back.
Well, I'll tell you what. While we wait for him to make sure he's back, Ross, why don't you plug us?
Oh,
I can have an interstitial plug-in.
Our YouTube partners. So if you would like to show support for the show, you can do so starting at 99p per month, which will give you access to our After Dark shows, custom emojis, and more. You can also find the show on Apple and Spotify podcasts. Any feedback is greatly appreciated. We also have an affiliate link with people over at CD Keys. So if you're looking to pick up the latest games at the best prices, you can also help the show in that way. As you'll notice at the bottom of the screen, we have our handles for all major social networking sites. If you want to challenge the hosts at guessthE.game, join us over in Discord and see how you stack up. And last but by no means least, for the very best gaming apparel, jump over to Insert Coin Clothing and use promo code ICXBT24 for 10% off orders over £50. And back to you, Jay.
Oh, I feel all warm and fuzzy in my tum-tum now. Thank you very much. Love a good bit of plug-in. So Ian, are you with us now?
I am with you, I think.
No, good. So you were about to ask something. I've already forgotten what happened.
Oh, Internal Strands. So what kind of, I was going to ask, because remind me, you might have said it, but I was dying just a minute ago. What kind of combat is it? And is it first or third person?
Third person, like action adventure style.
Yeah.
Sort of hack and slash, but it's not like hack and slash in the terms of like Dark Souls or Ninja Gaiden. It's a lot lighter. But
sword and shield, big hammer, big weapons, or ranged arrows.
Bow and arrow.
And does it like
magic?
You change weapons every time, or is it just like one weapon? That's the weapon you have.
No. When you go out into the field, you've got all your magic attacks on a weapon wheel, basically, and then in that weapon wheel as well. I think X if you press X, you get your big, like, heavy duty sword.
Great sword out. Y
gives you your sword and shield, and B gives you bow and arrow, and you can swap at them at any time.
It's not like step weapons, like you have to level them up or anything.
No, you can only carry one of each, but unless you've upgraded it in the base camp and forgot to change it, you don't really need to worry about that. So you can have.
Would you say?
It really depends on who you're fighting and what your style is. Because I've been favouring the big heavy greatsword so far because it does
Whereas
a lot
I
of
hate the
damage,
big heavy
obviously.
greatsword.
And initially I had some really weak sword and shield, and my bow and arrow wasn't very good. But now I've upgraded to the flame versions of them. They're a lot better. So I'm sort of mixing it up. Some enemies are faster, so I stick with the sword and shield. When it comes to fighting the big arcs and the big end of level boss type things, I use the greatsword because it does a lot more damage when you're climbing up them. And then the bow and arrow, I don't use so much, but every now and then I'll whip it out and set something on fire.
Sounds good. That's what I was asking because I was
really
dying
good.
and I missed that question.
The bow and arrow is quite good. I quite like it when I use it and like pairing it with ice. So like I'll get X amount of enemies that are like quite a wee bit of distance from me, encase them in ice, and then just fucking pick them off with the bow and arrow.
Oh, nice.
It's really good, and being able to upgrade your powers as well, as we said earlier on. I haven't upgraded the ice one yet because I haven't found. I think it's like some sort of big giant bird, like you were saying.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, because I was going to say the Ashbeat Drake, but that's the big dragon. That's fire.
Yeah, that's the one that gets the fire. Fire
but the other one, the one I was telling about with like the fur and things like that, upgrades all your ice attacks.
Yeah. So if you kill him once, then you get the attack, and then you get to kill him 2 more times, and then you upgrade it up to. I think each level goes up to each power goes up to level 3. And yeah, it's well worth fighting them again just to get the extra abilities and damage that they cause. And
very nice.
Yeah, I'm having a great time. Definitely my favorite game this year. Will it remain that? As we said,
so it catches up with the 1,800 other games we need to play.
A lot of other games this year, and there's some obviously big fucking ones to come yet. So we'll see.
Well, it depends if you count DLCs or remasters as game of the year. Then,
well, speaking of remasters, what we were getting to was Ross has been playing a fucking tremendous remaster, the first Dead Space. Ross, tell me about the first Dead Space and how you're getting on with that.
So my very wise ass son was saying how he's been playing. I can't remember what it was. Something Witch. It was like a shitty Roblox type game that they had brought out as a full release, and it was like I was going, that's what you class as a horror game. It's like that's fucking shambolic. So I tried to get me to play Outlast.
Did you say Roblox there?
Yeah.
Yeah, those fucking Roblox horror games. What a pile of shit.
Yeah. So I was like, I tried to get me to play Outlast, and he literally got out the car and got into the penitentiary and went, nah, fuck this. Nah, no play that.
I don't blame him. I'm saying the same thing. Fuck that. He's like, no. He's got his head screwed on.
He said, no, I'm not playing it. So I was like, I'm looking for all the games that I own. And I was like, oh, Dead Space remakes there being through EA Play. So I thought, fuck it. We're on to this, Yamura. Let's go. So I was like, right, you need to listen to me when you play this game. This is not your traditional, you've got a gun and you just go and do what you want to do. You need to listen to what I'm telling you. I was like, whatever animal, monster, creature, whatever you see, shoot the legs. Doesn't matter what it looks like, doesn't matter how big it is, doesn't matter whatever. Just shoot the fucking legs. So then the Fortnite boy comes out in him, and every guy that appears, he's trying to fucking headshot, and then he's screaming at me, it's still coming! It's still coming! Because you're not listening and shooting at the legs like I told you. It's going to keep coming. So he's not enjoying the combat because he keeps getting his arse handed to him because he doesn't appreciate that he needs to do that. And the amount of times he's absolutely shat himself from a necromorph jumping out the vents it's comedy gold.
Sounds
it's
like
absolutely brilliant. So we've been playing that. So I can't remember exactly where we are. We've got the pulse rifle, we've got the plasma cutter, we've got the rip saw, and then I think we've got another weapon as well, but for life I can't remember what that is. He doesn't like going in his 0G because the monsters just sort of gravitate towards him, and he's like, I can't get away.
Well, I mean, he's lucky. It's way easier to move around 0G than it was in the original game. The 360 one.
But no, very much enjoyed it. He's not a clue about the story. Like he's like, I keep trying to explain to him about the big fucking totem and stuff like that, and he's none the wiser in what to pay attention to. Every time there's like a video log or an audio log, he's like hitting the buttons to just skip through. I'm like, mate, you're missing out on the storyline.
Yeah, I mean the Dead Space setup and lore is
it's a fucking great storyline.
One of the last new games was great. yeah, I think Dead Space is awesome, and especially for the setting and the sort of, as you said, like the lore and the history behind it. And I think I mentioned before the 5-part like motion comic thing they did for it, which I watched.
Rebirth, what's it called?
I can't remember now, but I fucking loved it. I thought it was fucking
sure it was Rebirth.
They did obviously some of the films as well they've done, and then there was some spin-off games which weren't quite so good, but it's a great, like you said, great storyline, but the gameplay itself is excellent, and the remake is fucking tremendous. Really, really good version of the original Dead Space. Hopefully he'll get his gamer card sorted, and he'll get through it, and then you can talk to Ian and get him to go for it again. Because I mean, you played Dead Space 3, which obviously, as we've discussed, is pretty shit. But you have played the first one, I'm assuming.
Who, me?
No, Ian.
Yeah, I've played all 3. Not the remake version. I haven't played that one yet, but I've played the original 3.
Yeah. I mean, the remake one, it sort of hems quite closely to the original, because it obviously hasn't been that long since it released, but it just improves it in every way, like visually, with the gameplay, like I said, improving the zero-G mechanics, and they mix up some of the jump scares, I think, a little bit here and there, just to keep you on your toes.
I just haven't got enough underwear to play it.
I fucking love Dead Space. At least, again, the first one. The second one's pretty good, and the third one.
I should film me playing it. Ian plays Dead Space.
I think you should.
I think you should as well.
It's me constantly crying.
I was trying, just when you said that, I was trying to explain to him why 3 doesn't work as well. And I'm like, I mean, that's a long list.
There's lots of reasons. The immediate things that jump to mind are microtransactions, which just ruined any flow of the gameplay, and the co-op was a great idea, and I really liked what they did to it. I like how they did it, I should say. But it sapped any sort of tension and anything out of it.
I can't remember his name. Was just dreadful.
The Carver, was it Carver?
I would say Carver, but then is it Carver?
Something like that. But again, like the way they did it, it's mild spoilers, I suppose, if you really care. But if you're playing co-op, you're playing as Isaac, the other guy's playing as Carver, and what Isaac sees isn't necessarily what Carver sees. So there was one scene where I was playing with my old mate Matt, and he was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And they're just having a conversation, but on his end, he was seeing all sorts of trippy shit, and I was like, "What are you on about?" They're just talking like, "Shut up and try to listen." There's fucking monsters everywhere. I was like, "There's no fucking monsters everywhere. Like, no one's coming."
Yeah,
and then
I don't mind that.
Flicked over that he was at whatever was going on was like a hallucination, and that is a tremendous touch. But sadly, that was the only.
Man and Medan did that as well, did they? Where like if you're playing it as co-op, one person could see stuff now, and you all of a sudden just sitting on a headset, and next thing you hear is, "Oh, what the fuck is that?" And you're just sort of walking along on his camera in corridor.
When one's hallucinating, and you're attacking them, but you're not attacking them. Like you don't realize now you're fighting each other. That was a really good touch. But
and more games, especially co-op horror games like that, should do stuff like that. But but other than that, Dead Space 3 wasn't very good. But Dead Space remake. Glad you're enjoying it. Hopefully you'll get through it, and then we can play some more. I mean, the other games are backwards compatible. It's well worth playing the second one at least as well. And
then we'll just say we'll just pretend the third was good, and we'll just leave it and not talk about it ever again.
Just move on from there. I mean, you could maybe find a supercut on YouTube that shows the highlights and follows the story. Not that the story is particularly good in it as well, but might show some of the better parts of it. But
the end screen.
We'll see. Anyway, that's fucking 75 minutes roughly ish of what we've been playing. So let's get into some rapid fire, quick news stuff. Although it's not necessarily going to be rapid fire because it's quite big news this week. We got a report from Windows Central, as brought to us by VGC here, that talks that apparently the first portable Xbox could actually hit this very year. And then beyond that, the rumors are that they've already started on the next-gen console and their own handheld to release in 2027. So this particular part of the story for the one this year is a thing called Project Kennen, and it's a handheld device like a Steam Deck, I imagine, or a ROG Ally, or someone. You got the Legion Go in it. Legion Go. There we go. Yeah. But it's going to be well, again, all rumors at the minute, nothing confirmed, but it's going to be Xbox branded. So it'll be them partnering up with whoever it may be to say, this will play your Xbox game. This is an Xbox, and you're an Xbox, and I'm an Xbox, and everyone's an Xbox. Yeah, so again, actually, it does say in the story they're working with Asus.
Asus, yeah.
To work on it. So have they got one already?
Who does the ROG?
Is that the ROG Ally? Yeah, thank you.
Asus is ROG Ally. Yep.
I mean, there's so many fucking names flying around. I can't even remember my own name half the time. Let alone
Asus probably do, aesthetically at least, probably do the nicest looking one, but that's what I'd expect from anything that's ROG based, because ROG is very much their gaming type
Republic
stuff.
of Gamers.
Yeah, so Asus do a lot of stuff, but ROG is like their hardcore gamer looking light up RPG slashes on it with massive big cutouts and things like that. So
yeah, so let's start there then, shall we, before we get too far off the track. Xbox branded handheld this year. Interest high, 100%. Low? Would you rather wait for the official Xbox handheld console, which we'll get into in a minute, in a couple of years?
Yes,
I'll do both.
Well, the way I look at it is my Legion plays Game Pass, and it will now play I can play the games that I own anywhere when they come to that service. So right now, I don't need one that has an Xbox button on it, or is green, or has any Xbox labeling on it. If it had different things that it could do because it was Xbox, then that would maybe be a different conversation. But if it is simply a handheld that is Xbox branded and allows me to play my Xbox games wherever I go, I can do that just now.
So see, for me, it would be definitely get it, because, like you say, I travel a lot, as everyone recently found out. For me, it'd be good if I'm on the go, because you got obviously the touchscreen with your phone. Again, it's not the best. If you actually had to pop a console with it, where you can actually maybe even install games, it might be a lot better to use and play. I think me lugging my Series S a lot is a bit cumbersome sometimes, especially if I'm going on the plane. That takes up like a quarter of my baggage space. So for me, it'd be really useful to have, could it be a quarter of the size. I can literally just put my hand luggage or anything. But like if you're the same size as the Switch, it'll be perfect. So for me, it's definitely one. If they did both, one where it's new this year and then one later down the line, I'll probably end up maybe getting both. But I think for me, it's definitely something I'll be definitely interested in and looking into, because it can be nice to, especially when you're lazy in bed, just have a handheld out, whack it out, flop it out.
Flop it out in bed. That's what we like to do. So Ross, with the Legion Go that you've got, is it just Game Pass, or is it any, whatever they call it? What's the
you can't install games, can you?
Where you can play it on Xbox and PC.
It's the same. It's the Xbox app that's on PC. So everything that you can do on the Xbox app on PC, you can do on the Legion Go. So like that is how it looks once it loads up. Yeah, I need to sign in, but it's basically.
So if
it's
you
not.
have
It's just offering me more Game Pass.
If you have an Xbox game that will also play on PC, you can play it on your Legion Go, basically.
Yeah, so like for example, there's like my PC game library.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's exactly the same as the PC app.
And then you can install games onto that then?
Yeah, so I've got Football Manager, Age of Empires, and Indiana Jones all installed on the actual Legion Go. I don't need any internet access to play those games once they're loaded.
So effectively, what Ian was saying, or what you were saying earlier on, sorry, is say this Project Cannon does turn out to be an Asus, ROG Ally with an Xbox logo slapped on it. It's not really going to be much different to what you can already do.
No, because like there's, for example, there's Dead Space, and if because I'm in my installation clue, but there you go. There's me just loaded up.
You're now tempting me to buy a Legion Go, and I
Indiana Jones, so I can now just jump into that.
I have a message.
Yeah, this title did not quit properly. That's because I was impatient and probably just hit shut.
do we think that perhaps, again, even though it's not necessarily an official Xbox thing, it's a partner thing, that they might open up the scope to include what games you can play on the console, not just PC or crossplay games? So I don't know. I'm trying to think. For example, I was going to say Eternal Strands, but I've been playing on PC, so that's definitely already on there.
Shit.
A game that you have on your Xbox that you don't also get access to on your PC. Do we recommend they might then be like, well, this is an Xbox. Yeah, this is an Xbox, so your entire library is available, even if it's not available on PC. Because I think that would be the real kicker. If that was the option where I could play games on it that I otherwise wouldn't be able to, if I just got a Legion Go.
Yeah, that like I say, it would have to have something that allowed me to have a benefit over what a current handheld already offers me.
Yeah, and that
if it was a mini Xbox, for example, that would maybe tempt me. Not a device to just play Xbox games. So, like, if you turned it on and it looked like the dashboard from an Xbox, had your game saved like an Xbox.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Then that would be like if it came in as a 1 terabyte version, and you had your games. So you maybe have to like re-download the games that you've got there, but then like your saves are on the cloud, so you can leave your living room. You can drive 4.5 hours, or somebody can drive 4.5 hours, and you can sit and play it like you were moving. Then definitely something like that would work.
Yeah, so I think that's what more tempt me more if that was the case, because like if you're going in a plane, obviously you need internet access half the time to play some of the games.
Yeah.
If you haven't got internet access, you're screwed. And that's the thing about these handhelds with Xbox, you need internet access to play them half the time.
So that would be very interesting. And I imagine that whatever the next official one is in 2027, according to this rumor, that will be the case. That it will be, like you said, Ross, you boot it up and it will effectively be an Xbox home screen dashboard, and it just treats it like an Xbox console just in your hands. But they're also doing like a full fat next gen console, and I wonder if there's going to be what's the right way of putting it? Some sort of not the Switch necessarily, but like the Switch. So maybe you could dock it into the stand next to it or something, and then you just take it up and carry on your game. Off you go. And again, like you said, it's literally a mini Xbox in your hands.
Well, I know the
game back
on the Xbox. Console, sorry, I was interrupting you there. I know the Xbox kind of pushed the Logitech one, don't they?
Yes.
The Logitech G Cloud, is it called on that?
Yeah, it's probably the weakest of the ones, I would say. When I was doing my research into which one I would prefer, that was the one that was probably the weakest of all of them.
Yeah, so I just looked at it's Logitech G Cloud gaming console. That's the one the official Xbox website are pushing for their kind of handheldness. But again, like you say, if you need online all the time, you're screwed. Because
that's not connected to the internet, and that's
so that is So you can play that, but again, that is effectively via the PC app. So you're playing the PC version of Indiana Jones there, whereas what we're hoping for is you can load it up and you have your entire Xbox library, not just what you can get on PC.
Correct.
So that would be ideal. But again, I imagine that's going to be the later one. This year's one, if it does turn out to be true, will probably be similar to
cloud device, I would imagine. Yeah.
And it will be
a bad streaming cloud device. It's not a bad idea, but it's like I say, if you're traveling, you're screwed.
Yeah, because you're dependent on places having like internet.
Yeah, I mean, I went travel. I now travel for work a little bit as well, and I went up north earlier this week, and I took my laptop and I was trying to just stream Netflix on the Wi-Fi in the hotel. Would it work? Would it? Shit.
And when you say you went further north, do you just mean you were slightly south, as in anything south of the border is not?
I was in the lovely
anything past Watford's north.
No, anything past Berwick is north.
It was a lovely place. But yes, the Wi-Fi in that hotel I stayed in was utterly shit.
Potato.
So even streaming, like I said, Netflix barely worked, YouTube barely worked. So trying to stream fucking Indiana Jones over the cloud, you got no hope. So something to have it locally playing would be ideal. So then looking ahead again to 2027 with the official, as it were, Xbox handheld and big console. I think we'll stick with the console for now. Are you keen for yet another home console that's going to be more powerful, but basically play the same games we're already playing, or would you probably look at getting, again, depending on specs and price, etc., just the handheld and stick with your Series X and S that you've got already?
I'm a stupid guy, so I'll probably get both.
Yeah, I would. I think this will be the first time where it will actually be a consideration for me. I'll actually normally the Xbox say, right, we're bringing out a new console, and I get it day one.
Yeah,
I will probably need to look into researching it a bit more and seeing what the benefits of having it and things like that won't be.
Yeah.
I would
No, you're
imagine it's going to. I say that I don't necessarily know, but based on what we're seeing in regards to video game sizes and things like that, you're going to now get like launch 2 terabyte is going to be the standard.
Fucking
Just-
better, but yeah, I'd say I
you
need
get-
to Call of Duty just to play a game.
Yeah, 150 plus gigabyte games before fucking DLCs and shit like that's getting added on. 2 terabytes is going to have to be the normal, but it's going to need to offer. I think
What does the Legion size?
it's adaptable. You can put in whatever you want because it's a SD.
So what have you got?
I've got a 2 terabyte SD card.
Does it come with any built-in memory at all, or do you have to have an SD card?
I don't actually know because I got it as a bundle. I bought it like with 2 terabyte right off the bat, so it just automatically became my basis. But I would have to double check that.
I'm pretty sure we'll have some inbuilt in. Like,
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
would
it's probably
imagine
got
so.
some, yeah.
Well, it's
So
got the
it's
C. Yeah, 'cause it's got the C drive, and then it's got my additional drives. So
Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm with you, Ross. Like, if they did announce and release a handheld and a home console at the same time, as much as I probably would end up getting both at some point, initially it would be actually, like the handheld might actually serve me better in the short term because
especially
traveling. Half the time the kids are on the TV. I can't
that's what I was saying. My son commandeers my
I'll be laughing.
Well, that's
Yeah,
the thing. By
yeah.
2027, that's another 2 years. My wee one's going to be 5. That'll be me out of the game by that point. I'll be sitting on the couch.
You can be sitting there watching Bluey on the TV, and you can be sitting on your Xbox handheld playing Dead Space.
So, but the only thing I would say is just something you touched on, Jay, is if the handheld came with some sort of dock, that would probably then sway me closer to that because, like the Legion, you can buy a dock for it. Same with the ROG, same with the Steam Deck. They all come with like a dock type idea where you can HDMI it right up to your TV. The Joy-Cons come off. It's got Bluetooth in if you want to use your controller or whatever it is. So things like that would maybe sway me towards the handheld side of things, where if I had the ability to connect my Scuf controller to it, or if the Joy-Cons came off and I could play it up on the big telly, that would be great. Play it from whenever Tiny's at school, she comes out, comes back to the couch, away I go, she goes to bed, puts it back in again. That would probably sway me to going purely to handheld instead of having a physical box.
Yeah, I think the Switch 2 will be an interesting litmus test because I use my Switch pretty much exclusively in handheld. Occasionally I'd put it on the TV, but that was mainly because it wasn't really powerful enough to support my nice 4K OLED screen that we've got here. It doesn't quite look as nice as the Series X and PS5 on it, but if I had a handheld that could at least get somewhat close to what I've got now, as well as being able to take it away, then by buying the home console, you're almost sort of missing out on half the story, as it were, because you sort of that is where you play it now, which again is how we've always played it. But the handheld thing is blown up, mainly because of the Switch, I suppose. But the Legion Go, the Ally, the Lenovo ones, all that sort of stuff. The Legion, fucking hell, whatever, Steam Deck, whatever one it was Ian said, I've already forgotten the name of it. Like I said, I don't do names.
Oh, the Logitech.
Logitech, thank you. It's far more appealing to me these days just to have, I don't mind it being less powerful if I can still play all the games that I've got, and I'm not going to miss out on playing the new games coming out, at least for a little while. And like I said, if I can plug it into my TV as well, that would be another notch in the belt for that one. So I'm very interested in some form of handheld. And as Ian said, he's a fucking madman. So he'll just fucking Microsoft like, I'm releasing a gold edition. Oh yeah, I'll have that one.
Not that crazy, but a little bit maybe. We'll see.
Excuse me. But yes, so very much looking forward to some form of handheld. Apparently, we're going to get an announcement. Obviously, there's one coming this year, rumored. So we're going to get an announcement soon. Possibly along the side, the announcement of it was for Oblivion, the remake. So this has been a long
Unreal Engine 5.
And Unreal Engine 5. This has been a long rumored remake that's been going on. But according to Nate the Hate, who gets a lot of insider information and leaks a lot of stuff, it's set for a reveal in the coming weeks, and it could be released before June. Whereas on VGC, it says sources have told them that it could arrive as soon as next month. So, I mean, it's not like there's not a million other fucking games coming in April. So,
I was about to say that's a bit extreme.
Hold your fucking horses.
Just fucking hold off.
Yeah, there's no rush. Like we waited, I don't know how many years for this. So yes, as Ross said, it's in Unreal 5. They've reportedly fully remade a lot of the elements. So things like stamina, sneaking, blocking, archery, hit reaction, and HUD. And they've also sort of taken elements of things like Skyrim and improved it. And it says here they've been inspired by Souls-like games in terms of the blocking.
Yeah.
And sneak icons are now highlighted in the new system, which I mean, well, that doesn't make sense. But Oblivion,
like staggers and things like that.
Yeah, Oblivion is. I mean, it was my first Elder Scrolls. We spoke about it before on the podcast, but I spent hundreds of hours playing that game and the DLC. It's a Shiver and Isles, wasn't it? I think it's a tremendous game. I definitely prefer Skyrim purely because obviously it was bigger and better in every way, basically. But I have a soft spot for Oblivion just because of
criminal scum.
Criminal scum. My mother. And the world. I mean, at the time, it was like the most beautiful looking game I've ever seen. Now it looks very dated. Obviously, so Unreal Engine 5 is going to do a lot to lift that. But yeah, the vibrancy of the world, the colors, and then going into the Oblivion gates and having everything be on fire, yet more fire goodness, and fighting the demons and everything there. It's a great game. If you haven't played it, this would definitely be something to check out. Ross,
that would be my only.
You played Oblivion.
Yes, I was going to say that would be my only criticism. Well, it's not criticism as such, but Skyrim. I don't want to say disappointed me, but obviously you've got missions in Skyrim where you get to deal with the Daedric Lords, but Oblivion actually being able to go into their realm, it was cool as fuck. It was just like, oh, this is fucking awesome. Yeah, and you actually had to deal with Mazi's Maroon. Fucking can't put my fucking teeth in today. You had to deal with him as like a big bad, whereas your big bad in Skyrim was a dragon or another army. And I'm like, I want it to be about Daedric Lords.
Yes. And fighting them in the Oblivion gates was
quite
hard at times, quite challenging, but well worth it for the rewards you got. Obviously, again, spoilers? No, not spoilers. But
it's old enough to not be a spoiler.
Once you finish the game, the Oblivion gates go away, and after that, it was like, oh well, I kind of want them to come back now. I was quite enjoying doing them, and now I've sort of finished that part of the story. There's lots of a side quests, but there's no more of them to go and do. So. Yeah, make the most of modded there. Ian, have you played Oblivion? I don't remember if you.
No, not Oblivion. I played Skyrim, not Oblivion.
It is a very, very good game. A lot of people say
it's not aged well, but
it's very great.
I think I never really got into any of the Elder Scrolls until I played Skyrim. That's the only one I ever played.
I went back once I got into Skyrim. I went back and played Oblivion because I started Oblivion and I found it very. Yeah, I've pulled up a map and this map doesn't tell me anything. Fuck. What am I going to do?
Yeah, see, I like more of my futuristic games. So for me, it was a bit too oldie-timey. But it's still a good game. Skyrim. So.
I mean, it was one of those like watershed moments. Like when I first played Ocarina of Time, that was the first time I played anything like that. When I first played Render Evil, that was the first time I played it. And when I played Oblivion, that was the first time I played anything like that, really. And I was just blown away from once you got out of that cave, Patrick Stewart kicked the bucket and we moved on, and you sort of step out into the world and like, what the fuck, where do I go? Wherever you like,
to the Cloud District.
Go and have a look. Go and you've got a mission, but if you want to, just go and fuck off down
Go explore anywhere
to
you
the
want.
south, or and it just absolutely blew me away, left, right, and center.
It was just all the different races and the backstory of the races and the history, and it's like, it's fucking
and all the
incredible.
different mechanics. What did they call it? Ambient AI, I think it was. No, Radiant AI. Sorry, where all the characters had their own lives, which is what I was getting at in the Starfield discussion we had many moons ago. The towns had their own sort of livelihoods, as it were, and you could find people in certain places at certain times, and everybody would react differently. And you had the weird conversation thing where you had like the conversation wheel, and the faces would like nightmarishly animated, but it was entertaining enough at the time. And then the stealth of combat, the different guilds you could join, and then it was
Dark Brotherhood for the win.
Absolutely tremendous, like open world RPG that I didn't want to finish it, but I had to finish it because I like to play a lot of games, not just one game, and that game just took over my life for 2 or 3 months easily. And then again when Shiver and Isles come out later on. Will I play this again? Probably not, perfectly honestly, because I've already done it and I don't want to do it again. But I will definitely check it out, especially I imagine it'll come to Game Pass as well.
How many places have you bought Skyrim? Better question, how many places have you bought Resident Evil and you went back and played them over and over again? You will play this game.
Well, the difference between them is Resident Evil is like 5 to 6 hours. I can get it done in a couple of days and we're done. Oblivion,
5 to 6 months.
Especially this year, to spend half the year playing one game again.
It's a valid argument.
As good as it is. But I would like to load it up and just see how it, the improvements they've made in
stacks up.
The visuals and the gameplay mechanics and stuff. And again, if you like Ian, if you haven't played it before, it's definitely one to play. And I imagine this will be the best version to go check out because it's a crack. It was a cracking game, and I imagine it still is and will be once you get the upgrades in there. But so we might get it announced. We might get it announced alongside the rumors of the consoles and the handhelds and also all lots of other good stuff. More good stuff, and in a surprising twist,
fucking brilliant news.
It's good stuff with AI. I
thought you were going for the other story. Sorry.
Oh, do you know what? I didn't even look at that one now, so I'm just going to ignore that for the moment. AI, good stuff. Microsoft, they're bringing a version of its Copilot AI to Xbox, and it's basically going to be, a quick tips and tricks usage. So if you're stuck in a game, you can just ask it, "What do I need to do?" or "Where do I need to go?" or what weapon would be best for this combat encounter, and it will give you an answer. It'll also apparently recap if you haven't played a game for a little while. You can ask it to remind you what you were doing or where you're up to in the story or what quest you were going to do next. Basically, just being a little helpful AI tool for people who play games. And unlike a lot of AI in games where they steal people's likenesses and voices and develop entire games just ripping things off left, right, and center, this seems like it'll actually be something of use, especially for old people like me who forget what they're doing all the fucking time. One of the examples that they showed in the game, in the thing they got here, is in Minecraft, someone picked up some wood and then they asked it, "What can I do with this?" And it gave it a whole list of what you could do and how to achieve that as well, not just, "Oh, you could do this. So if you go here and place the wood here and you can make yourself some planks and blah, 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 blah." And I think it will be actually something quite handy. Anyone else thinking this might actually be a good use of AI? Possibly.
I think it'd be useful, especially if you're stuck for like achievements, you don't know what to do.
Oh, Ian, you're retired. Stop it.
You can get obviously advice of how to do that achievement, or if you're stuck on a quest, maybe you can think, "Oh, where do I need to go next?" It will tell you where to go or help you where to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Ross?
Well, like reading the second part of that article, like further down when it's explaining the third example, to do with Overwatch, and it's like telling you which character would work best based on your other members of your team, how you've performed with that character on previous times of playing it. Later on in the demo, the player dies quickly and asks Copilot what happened. You stayed in the fight too long after your teammates were down, it replies. Diving straight into Ramatra was a death sentence. Next time, retreat to regroup with your team. That's cool as fuck.
Yeah, so again, it's not just effectively scraping the internet for how-to guides. It's analysing it will be analysing what you're playing and how you're playing, and giving you tips and tricks based on what you ask it to sort of help you out with. Obviously, this is all pie in the sky stuff. I imagine there'll be a lot of, how did I die there? I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. Can you repeat? Okay, we'll get there eventually. But in the theory and the idea of it, I think it's actually a really good stuff because, again, kids, they like to play various games like Minecraft and Roblox, blah, blah, blah. But they're forever asking me questions. Dad, how do I do this? I don't fucking know. Whereas something like this, they could just ask away, and hopefully it won't just show them porn or try and steal my credit card.
That's what you want, though, surely.
But yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, it seems
make sure
like
unlock.
Yeah,
unlike all credit cards, debit cards, Apple Pay, whatever it may be, before that starts.
But yeah, it seems like an actual decent use of it. Of course, where they're getting the information from for some of it, who knows? Maybe they are just scraping sites, which they shouldn't be doing. But
well, that's what they do. They scrape websites. So
yeah,
that's how it works. They scour the web and scour the websites.
But some way, some form, they're at least looking after the people they're stealing from. But I mean, they're probably not really.
It's not really stealing the data, because at the end of the day, the data's online. They're just scouring the web to find that data for you to put in one area rather than you hunting the website.
They are. But then again, but that's the argument that the other side is that's then preventing you going to the X website to look at this information, then give them clicks and add revenue, blah 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 blah. You're just getting it delivered straight to you.
That's how Copilot works, Jamie.
I know. I understand how it works.
Congratulations, Jamie. Learn what AI does.
Yes. But that's what I'm saying. The argument for the bad side of it is that it's
of course, they go wrong
away from the actual websites which again. So what I'm hoping is that there'll be some way around, them not necessarily just taking the data and not being like, oh, I got this from techradar.com. Why don't you go to them and what I mean?
Oh no, they won't do that. So usually what happens is they'll where Copilot works sometimes is they'll scan what, say you ask a question, they'll go, these are all the details it's got, and then they'll give you a link to that website, and then obviously you can click on that website. A bit like what do you call it? Like what's the thing you call when you like say you search for a document and then you've given them the source. There we go, source. Okay. So it'll give you the source it's found.
Cite your sources, yes. Like all good.
So that's what Copilot usually does. They'll go, this is the information I found, blah 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 blah, and then there's source, and they click on the website where you can go to the website to find out more if you wanted to.
Yeah, hopefully
I doubt we'll have any ad for you.
Have fun with that, but yeah. Anyway, so other than that niggle, which I'm sure we'll keep cropping up with the AI stuff. It seems like at least a decent implementation of AI.
Copilot is powerful, and it's good that it's putting it in. I'm all for it. I'm definitely all for it because I've embraced AI quite early on, and anything extra like that will help a lot.
But actually, going slightly off topic, but still being relevant. AI isn't bad. How AI is utilized or how it's taken advantage of, perhaps. But AI itself is a fantastic tool, and it needs to be something that's embraced, but not abused.
Yeah, it's something to help rather than take over, I think. And as I said, like you get the people who literally just use it to create guff and then put it out, and YouTube videos or games or whatever, and it's awful stuff.
Oh god, some of the YouTube videos you find where it's the AI talking is just complete nonsense. It's dreadful.
Yeah. Whereas something like this, at least, I mean, it's not going to fucking change the world, but it will just enhance, hopefully, the experience of playing games and, learning new games, because it might even encourage people like me, for example. I'm not going to do it, Ross, don't get excited, but Football Manager, I've no idea where I'm fucking starting with that. But if I had something like this to sort of, coax me into the opening stages, perhaps I would get into
You do. You have your own AI right here.
I'm not doing it, Ross. I'm just
right here. I'll even do it in my best. I'll even do it in my best sexy Scottish voice for the AI.
We'll train you. I'll help. We'll train you how to be a manager.
Yeah.
That's a new web series.
But you can be Ipswich.
No, you're right. Thank you. Anyway,
Ross AI teaches Jay how to play Football Manager.
Let's move on before we get Ross too excited about trying to teach me football.
That could be a great new feature of that Tavern.
It'd be fucking awesome.
Listen,
What's
I haven't got
me
time
and
to play the
TV
games I want to
gaming?
play, let alone fucking anything else.
But when you buy the new Xbox handheld, you can take it anywhere you want.
Exactly.
Yeah, and if that's on there, begin straight in the fucking bin. Right, Ross.
Yes.
This final story, I believe you added it in, so please.
It did, just because I found it fucking hilarious.
The headline alone is, I mean, yeah, why not?
Have you seen it, Ian?
I think I know what you're talking about, but go ahead.
Yes. So, as you normally do, if somebody turns around and says to you, what do you think of when you hear the words "just eat"? Ian?
Food.
Indian, Chinese, Thai, Italian. How does a new Xbox sound?
I'd love to eat a new Xbox.
I'm not sure I want to eat it, but I'll play it.
So Just Eat have partnered with CEX. So you are now able to order games, accessories, cables, or even full-on video console directly to your door via the app. So you can jump onto Just Eat, and if you have a CEX that is in your area and is set up to work with Just Eat, you can order directly from the Just Eat app and get what you need, which I would imagine will probably be in about 30 minutes, because that's an average Just Eat delivery time.
Yeah. I have some fish and chips and Xbox, please. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what do you fancy for dinner tonight?
Please don't put some vinegar on it. Please don't put some.
Yeah.
I might buy a copy of Pokemon Black and White if I'm honest. Quite fancy it, actually.
A couple Pokemon, and then maybe I guess McDonald's as well. Why not?
Exactly. Big Mac to go along with it. Just the most random partnership in the world.
Like I get it when they do the grocery ones. That's always fun. Like,
yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense. But yeah, Xbox and any console thing is just weird.
So yeah, CEX.
Also, I wouldn't trust a delivery Uber driver to Just Eat driver to send me a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Along with my fucking KFC order. That's no fucking.
I mean, they don't fucking remember to pack the dips whenever I order my fucking KFC. What's the chances they remember on the HDMI cable when I buy my new Xbox?
So, I mean,
motherfuckers!
You get an empty box every time. Great.
It's a bit weird, but maybe this video makes a bit more sense now that we've.
We're sending you an Xbox One instead of an Xbox 360. Is that all right? Yeah, the Series S.
Oh, Xbox cookie.
Is this what that's what they're getting at? Is you order an Xbox and you get a load of Costco cookies melted together?
I mean, I'm not saying no because Costco cookies is fucking incredible.
Costco cookies are very good.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it just fell apart.
That's got about the heat. That's got about the heat fighting properties of a PS4.
Yeah.
It's just fucking jet engines.
But yeah, so I mean, why would you want to order games and consoles on Just Eat? Why not? I suppose.
I mean, games. Okay, hear me out.
I can see.
Games kind of make sense because say you're like, all right, mates, what happened? We're going around tonight. Let's get FIFA in, and then we'll get FIFA. And then again, you got to fucking install it anyway, and that takes hours.
But I don't know if I missed this or what happened. I'm going to turn this off. It's distracting me. Is it buying games or is it some sort of rental service?
No, it's buying.
You're buying the games.
So
yeah, it's not like Redbox or stuff like that.
But only till 6 p.m, which makes no sense as well because
they got to go down the game to buy it, ain't they? So.
I like to. I want to trust CX half the time.
I mean, it's baffling. I mean,
in a way, if you are, I mean, again, most people gamers nowadays are very lazy and they'll just buy it digitally. So why are you buying a CD for Just Eat to get delivered to your house just to fucking install it afterwards is a bit weird. And I imagine they have a markup as well because that's what usually Just Eat and stuff do anyway.
They had X amount on top of it.
Well, there we go. You got one. From 9:30
I can get my CX there from 9:30 tomorrow.
But basically, it's Amazon.
So order for later.
No,
so
but that's more like that. Just Eat will give it to you in like 30 minutes because obviously it's not open now, so they can't do it. CX opens from 9:30 till 6. So
I can get an official Xbox Elite Black Series 2 wireless controller and all parts with case for £143.75.
But again, you could just. I mean, I am baffled by this, to be quite honest with you.
No, right. So, but like, say for example, right. Say I was working.
It's just another way of buying it, like I said, off Amazon or even off CX.
But Amazon's next day.
But Amazon's next day.
See, this will give it to you.
Not
in
necessarily,
like
but
15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's when you're in the fucking sticks. Trust me. Next day's like rapid service for us.
Yeah, but when have you ever been like, shit? Do you know what? I need an
loads
right now.
No, not that.
Okay,
as
right
such.
now.
I mean, I understand because like you can just download it digitally these days, but most people don't like digital games. They want their CD so they can share it with friends.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but
We're not convincing you here, are we?
I just can't. I can't think of any time. As much as I play games, and I've played games for years, and I've wanted to buy a new game, blah blah blah. I've never gone, oh shit! I didn't buy the latest Resident Evil. It's 4 o'clock. Quickly order it. I can get it delivered in half an hour. Of order.
You would.
No.
You would. You
I wouldn't know.
would.
Because
If
I was that excited about it, I would have already bought it that day, or now I would have bought it digitally, like you said.
You also are forgetting that.
But then it's also like you get controllers and stuff. So say for example, you came at my house.
You don't suddenly go, shit, I need a controller right now.
No, hear me out.
I've got some.
Say you came at my house. Listen, Jay.
Oh.
So you came at my house. You forgot your controller. I haven't got any of my 9 controllers.
I'm
I've got.
Buying another controller because I forgot what to bring to your house.
Oh no, I need a new controller anyway. Let me just buy one from Just Eat, get it delivered, and play FIFA together. No. Oh no, I lost my HDMI cable. Let's get it delivered from Just Eat.
That's the one I would be like. Cables. That's the one I think would be like. That's a fucking godsend. Is the cables?
Oh, no, my Joy-Con's not working. Oh, okay. What would you? I need a new one anyway. Let me just log online, get Just Eat, get it delivered in 30 minutes, and we can play Smash Brothers together.
The only issue you've got with it is it's only based on the stock that they have in. So if you do need to jump on and say buy an Xbox controller, and they're like, I don't have an Xbox controller, then you're like, oh, fuck.
You know, I can get on board with the cables, like you said, because if a cable breaks or whatever, you're like, fuck's sake, all right, get one delivered quickly. Let's get playing. But you're never caught out by shit. I forgot my controller. I'll just buy another one. Why not? I know you will, Ian. Fucking, but like,
I'm not
most
not
people,
that part of money.
I'm not buying. Just not buying another one. I'm just gonna go home and get it, or I don't know. We just won't do
I'm
it.
literally the worst person in money myself. It would not be me doing that. But I know, but that's what I'm trying to say. People might be doing that.
I mean, no, people will be because they're fucking idiots. But
it's also don't forget you can get like DVDs and stuff. Like, say, for example, you wanted to watch.
At no point have I ever thought I need a DVD in the next half hour.
You've got Blu-ray of Lord of the Rings yet? Let me go get that. Oh, CX.
Not in this day and age. If I'm that desperate to have something immediately, it's got to be digital in it in terms of games and movies and stuff.
So you're meant to be a positive country.
I am, but
you're not being positive.
This is just fucking ridiculous. This is like ultimate laziness. Like, I'm not.
Did somebody say just eat?
Just game.
Just game indeed. Yeah. Well, I mean, if it works for you, fill your boots. But I fucking won't do that, sure.
I'm tempted just to put in a Just Eat order, so when it arrives, I've got a Just Eat bag and a slow
order it now. Order it now. You might get it before we finish the podcast. Yeah. And then you
can slowly unveil whatever it is I've ordered. That's all. I'm tempted.
I might buy Legion Go from. Oh, I want to buy Legion Go from Just Eat. Let's have a look.
You probably can if it's in your local store.
That's just like, oh man, that would be hilarious if next time we start recording, like, right, I've just ordered Legion Go. We'll see if it gets in before we finish. Just rock. Oh,
yeah, I'm just looking. Get HDMI cables, can get gaming.
Yeah, like I said, I can just about understand the cables if something breaks and you think, shit, we had our whole evening planned and I haven't got a spare one. But when don't you have a spare fucking No, not doing it. I don't know how many fucking HDMI cables.
Yeah, exactly. I've just had a look at Joy-Cons as well.
I'm not doing it. My Joy-Con's broken. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to plan ahead and purchase it before I need it again. Not suddenly be like, shit, I was going to play Zelda. I need
forget
a
about
now.
It.
And I won't fucking play it. I'll play it another day.
You can buy FIFA 20 for £1.72.
You can get in the fucking bin. I'm not interested. No. Just Eat, you fuck off.
What if you need a new charger? There you go. I get a new charger in half an hour.
What if you haven't got the Cyberpunk Ultimate Edition?
Do you know how many fucking chargers I have in this house? I don't need it anymore.
In your house. What if you're not in your house?
You're in your hotel. You're screwed.
If I'm in my hotel, I will find something else to do that doesn't involve a charger.
There is a USB-C to USB-C 100-watt braided charger for £9, and I can have it ready for my.
I can get a PlayStation Move motion controller for £17 delivered straight to my door.
Boom! I can get a Kinect system delivered directly to my door as well. I can actually get an Xbox One with Kinect.
I can get a PlayStation portable remote.
Now you're talking my language. Get the Kinects in all day long.
There you go.
Kinect.
See?
Not that I have any.
Like Breath of the Wild, Jay, for £48.
I might need to. I think Graham's still got my copy. And saying he hasn't started it yet.
I haven't even fucking played it.
No. Yeah. Anyway, we're. I'm just ranting now. We should have finished this ages ago. But what started as a funny story just proper wound me up. No, you do not. No,
Isn't Elder Scrolls Online free?
Let's move it. What?
Is Elder Scrolls Online free?
It is.
Yes.
You can get obviously like season passes or.
CX offering for £1.72 to be delivered. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's free. Why not?
I think initially it was a paid purchase, but now I believe it's free. But then there's the expansions and stuff you buy like World of Warcraft. And
do you know what as well? You know what else, Jay? You can do with CX Woking. You can do group order, so therefore you can actually buy your groceries and a KFC.
Fuck it! You're winning.
Jay, if you want your faggots, Far Cry 6, and a bucket of KFC, all in one order, straight to your door.
Boom. Now the groceries, fine. I can get on board with the groceries, and
you can get Far Cry 6 as well. Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
At no point. Do you know what? I'm ordering bread and milk. I'm going to treat myself to a bit of a.
Wind up, Jay.
I'm going to do an order just so when next week you can come on the show.
And actually, do you know
just
what?
Eat bag.
Do you know what? I've suddenly realised I really, really want a copy of Avatar for Pandora or whatever it is. Let's do it. Yeah. Just no.
Check bag.
No, you're right. Thank you very much.
Uncharted. You get Uncharted, Jay, for £13.
I mean, why wouldn't you get Uncharted for £13? But I'm not doing it because I need it in the next half an hour. Right, let's move on. I've had enough of this fucking Just Eat nonsense. Get in the bin. Right, let's round off this fucking nonsense. Should we? We can look at while you're waiting for your Just Eat order to be delivered. You can look at xboxtavern.com and you can check out lots of reviews, including my WWE 2K25 one, which I gave a 9.12. Like I said, probably the best wrestling game I've ever played. Tomb Raider 4 to 6 remaster from James. He gave it a 5. I mean, they're not the best Tomb Raider games anyway, and it doesn't sound like they did a great deal other than give them a little bit of an up stuff. Sorry, we're closed. Either of you guys seen that game? Sorry, we're closed.
No.
AJ reviewed it. He gave it an 8. It's basically a sort of survival horror type game, but with a few twists and quirks. But it's very heavily Dreamcast inspired. So everything's it looks like a Dreamcast game. It plays a bit like a Dreamcast game. And once I read his review, I was like, yes, please, I'm in. So that's currently sitting on my hard drive waiting to be played as well. And you know what I did? I just bought it. Well, actually, I didn't buy it. I got sent a copy of it, but I just downloaded it, and now it's ready to go whenever I'm like. I don't need to worry about having it in the next half an hour because it's already done. I planned ahead. Fucking Justin. And Carmen Sandiego review from Corey. He gave it 7.2 on that one. I got a fair amount of views on the old YouTube video for that one. So good work, Corey. Go check that out.
It's up over the 1,500 mark, I think, now.
I think so, yeah, which is not bad going for what ostensibly is a game that I didn't think many people would care about. It seems to be a lot of people who care about Carmen Sandiego, so go check that out.
Just a wee bit of news before we go any further. It's good news for us people who are big fans of Assassin's Creed. I've just seen a news article that it will be part of the Stream Your Own Game, so you can play Assassin's Creed Shadows wherever you would like.
Very nice indeed. So, yeah,
on the toilet.
You can play it on the toilet.
Game Pass Ultimate comes in strong again. They've added more and more games to out of your own library that aren't on Game
That's
Pass.
A nice big one. No, I'm quite happy with that one.
Yeah, so look forward to playing that. It's out on the 19th, I believe, right? The game.
20th.
20th, sorry. Okay. So, yeah, so you're going to play it anywhere you like later this week, as long as you're a Game Pass member. So you've got lots of reviews over on xboxtavern.com, including obviously Ian's Assassin's Creed Shadows review, which is coming up in the next few days. Hopefully, fingers crossed, all things going well. But let's keep on the Game Pass positivity train, shall we? And Ross, They like to
Rapid
bring us
fire.
games in Game Pass, but I mean, we ain't got time to play all these fucking games. But tell us what we could play if somehow we can retire early.
So we've got, these are games that have already came into Game Pass. So the first 5 are already in. So you've got Monster Train, Galactica, One Lonely Outpost, Enter the Gungeon, and Mullet Magic. And the one that is still due to come in, which I believe we will be playing next week when all of us are back for our Project Game Pass, we have 33 Immortals,
Yes.
which is due on the 18th.
Yes, we'll play that next Sunday at about 8 p.m. Nice. Mullet Magic as well. I've got that installed. I haven't started it yet, but it looks like a lot of fun.
Dan was quite big on that. He put up in the. Would he put it up somewhere? Oh no, it was a different group. But he did mention to me how you played Mullet Magic. That's a fucked game. Pretty fun too.
Yeah, it's like a retro style shooter, but we've just it was like anime like setting. Yeah, it looks tremendous. I really want to play that again. I've got no fucking time to play these games, but that's one I want to get to at some point. But Ian, thankfully, they do take games away from us, so I have no choice but to play them.
But not the first one.
To play them. So what's leaving us, or what has left us?
What has left us?
Yeah, these are all gone.
These are gone in the next 1 hour, 50 minutes. Is Evil West, Lies of P, No More Heroes 3, Solo Ash, SpongeBob SquarePants, Battle for Bikini Bottom, Yakuza 5 and 6.
They're gone. Ross, did you make your way through Lies of P? I bet you didn't.
I've not completed it, no, but I have been playing it.
I'll tell you one game which was fucking brilliant was Solo Ash.
Yes, I did
you
install that.
Jack?
I installed it, and it might still be sitting on my console, but that's going to be as far as
you can play it in the next hour and 50 minutes if you hurry.
Yes, I think I might have missed my chance on that one. Oh fucking hell, he's died. I would like to play it. It does sound like my cup of tea, but yeah, I'll maybe if it comes back to Game Pass, or if it ends up cheap on a sale at some point, I'll give it a go. But
you might want to retry what you said, Ian, because you died.
Ian, what were you saying, sorry?
I said an achievement for completing in 3 hours, so you got 2 hours, so go for it.
No.
You can do it.
If I can just eat a physical copy, I'll give it a go. But yeah, not do that.
I wonder if they do have it for you.
Yeah,
that'd be fucking hilarious.
No More Heroes.
He wakes up tomorrow morning with a copy of fucking Soul.
Yeah, I know your address, Jay. I'll just get it delivered to you.
But yeah, No More Heroes 3 was great as well. I really enjoyed that when I played it. So that would have been a good one to check out if you had the chance. And obviously Yakuza and Evil West. I think Graham really liked them ones as well. So go check it out. But for now, as I slowly dwindle into the madness and Just Eat is completely thrown me off now. It's been a pleasure. We've crossed the 2 hour mark. So let's knock this on the head. I've been Jamie. You can find me at EnaxHand everywhere. On Xbox, X, Facebook, wherever you want to find. Just search EnaxHand, you'll find me. I'll be around. You can find Ross
at Scottish Gruff.
And you can find Ian
at Natty Way.
And we will see you next Sunday for Project Game Pass, which again hopefully will be 33 Immortals. Approximately 8 p.m. on youtube.com/Xbox Tavern Official. Looking forward to check that out and see how that fares, because it seems to be quite a fun game from the previews that we've seen. I haven't actually played it yet.
Next week, so I apologize.
Oh fuck me! He drops it in right at the end, and he fucking messes about. And then here we are. Right, anyway, we'll worry about that next time. Thank you very much. #be nice, you cunts. And we'll see you next week.
Unless it's to Just Eat, because he hates Just Eat.
With or without you.
Bye. Ciao, ciao, bye.